The bright green paste you regularly eat with your delicious sushi is not actually authentic wasabi. If you carefully check the ingredients listed on the product packaging, you will easily see a mixture made up of artificial sweetener, processed horseradish, and perhaps only a very small, insignificant percentage of the real and genuine product. True, authentic wasabi is extremely difficult to find and can easily cost up to $250 per kilogram. So what is wasabi really at its core, and why is it so incredibly expensive and inaccessible? Wasabi is a small and delicate green plant belonging to the Brassica family. This means it is closely related to many cheap and easily found plants such as common horseradish, nutritious cabbage, or healthy broccoli. However, unlike these common plants, it is incredibly expensive and highly valued. 1 full kilogram of freshly harvested wasabi can easily cost up to 25 times more than common fresh horseradish. The main and most important reason for this high and prohibitive price lies essentially in the complex and delicate cultivation process. Cultivated wasabi is widely known as the most difficult and demanding plant in the world to grow commercially on a large scale. The only specific place in the world where it can be found growing naturally in the wild is along cold Japanese mountain streams, where it has the very specific environmental conditions it needs to thrive and develop. Wasabi requires a constant and uninterrupted supply of clean, flowing spring water. It especially prefers a well-shaded and sheltered area, rocky or well-drained gravel soil, and it can only tolerate a very narrow temperature range of about 8 to 20 degrees Celsius throughout the entire year without exception. Excessive humidity in the air or the wrong minerals can also easily cause serious problems for the sensitive plant. On top of all that, it is highly susceptible to destructive pests and devastating diseases that can ruin the crop. Although wasabi is still mainly cultivated in Japan, our specialist wasabi company was the first to successfully pioneer commercial wasabi cultivation in Europe, where we were already experienced watercress growers. That is exactly what we have been doing consistently for a long time. We experimented with many different and innovative approaches, and interestingly, wasabi came to us through a talented chef who was casually visiting a watercress farm and enthusiastically said, "The only thing I have ever seen grow exactly like this. Watercress growing naturally in flowing water in special gravel beds was wasabi growing in traditional Japan." All of our prepared beds are continuously supplied with pure, natural spring water that comes directly from the ground through deep artesian springs. When the fresh water emerges from 40 meters underground, it is at around 10 to 11 degrees Celsius. It naturally warms slightly in summer as it flows through the beds and cools again, but it has a very effective and important balancing effect on dangerous temperature extremes. We carefully cover the beds with protective shade netting to keep the worst of the harsh winter cold and the intense summer sun away from the delicate plant. When all conditions are finally right, cultivated wasabi still takes a patient 18 full months before it can finally be harvested. Even then, it remains an extremely time-consuming process because absolutely everything must be done carefully by hand by skilled workers. The delicate harvest is carried out manually, and then it is a very labor-intensive process to carefully separate the entire plant and meticulously clean the valuable stems. There is no machine that can help remove this delicately from the ground and prepare it properly for the demanding sushi counter. So now, after our long 18-month wait, we carefully harvest our wasabi. This is a robust stem, sometimes incorrectly called a rhizome, but more correctly in botanical terms it should be called a true stem, formed as the leaves fall away and the remaining leaf bases gradually create a firm stem. When we take our special traditional grater, which has very, very fine and sharp teeth, and you can clearly see that it has no holes on the back, we are not trying to grate the wasabi coarsely. We are carefully creating a fine paste. We do not go too fast, because we want to break it down at a microscopic cellular level. And if you are not seeing it freshly grated immediately in front of you, then it is very unlikely to be authentic fresh wasabi. So what is the characteristic flavor of true wasabi? And is it really so different from the paste we usually use?